There was a house right here. You can see there was a 4-bedroom house right here, right? It's gone.
So let's talk about Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica. It actually hit at a Category 5, and it is the worst storm in the island nation's history.
You have to see it to understand it. It was just so crazy.
It actually impacted the majority of the western part of the island, and it's kind of had this triple effect. So first of all, the storm winds knocked down a ton of power, ripped off roofs, and caused all kinds of damage and devastation. Secondly, it left a lot of people lacking all the basics.
There is no electricity, and we are not sure when we're going to get electricity back. As for water, there is no water.
Third, it impacted local industry. A lot of the hotels, and remember, tourism's Jamaica's #1 economic driver. So tourism was devastated because a lot of the hotels had to shut down because they were damaged. Revenue stopped flowing, they had to spend money on repairs, and a lot of the workers got laid off.
A number of families have lost everything. A number of students are not even at school because they don't have what to wear. They don't have roofs over their heads. They're using like tarpaulins.
At GlobalMedic's, we responded immediately.
Oh, this is enough. Let me do that.
The very first thing that we did was to go and install point-of-source water purification units into feeding kitchens run by our partners at World Central Kitchen.
We need clean water to cook. So setting up a clean water distribution system is always on the top of the list.
So our teams immediately, day one, are in there, in the feeding centers in Montego Bay and in their massive kitchen that was being set up. We installed Aqua Response 6 units to purify dozens of liters of water every minute so the chefs could cook.
We serve these sweet corn with jerk chicken.
A couple days later, we're out to Negril installing in kind of a remote kitchen there that's feeding into that area because, look, people are hungry all over the island, and we want to make sure that they're getting fed, and we want to make sure that the chefs have clean water, to cook with. And of course, the people that are coming to the kitchen area, they're getting clean water from there as well. So it's kind of a dual purpose. And then at the same time, the volunteers, our force for good, they were out and they were packing family emergency kits, just like the crew is doing behind me. It's a box, and inside the box, solutions to all the problems that we know that families in Jamaica face. First of all, there's a solar light. Imagine living high up in the mountains or in one of those areas that does not have power because the power lines are down. And look, it's not a matter of getting the power back on in a day or two. It's going to be weeks and sometimes months in some of these areas. So a solar light is really useful to a family. There's a hygiene kit in there, soap, toothbrush, toothpaste. But the most important aspect is the point of use water purification unit. It's critical. It saves lives. Water infrastructure was destroyed. The flooding damaged the rivers. It made the water muddy. So even if people drank river water, all of a sudden they couldn't. That water was too dirty.
There's leptospirosis going around. There's all kind of waterborne diseases. So it's absolutely important that they filter these waters or they're going to get sick.
Bottled water is just not a reasonable, sustainable response in an island nation. But what are you going to do with the plastic bottles at the end? So the family emergency kit has a point of use water purification unit that mom is able to set up. It's so simple, 2 buckets, 1 bucket goes on top of the other. She takes her dirty water and she pours it in the top, and then gravity, no electricity because there is no electricity. Gravity pulls it through the ceramic filter, and clean, safe drinking water is right there in the bottom bucket.
It tastes really good. My children cannot get enough of this water. It's pure, it's clean, and I use it for my baby as well.
So far, our volunteers have packed 8,500 of these family emergency kits that we have flown down and distributed to families. That water unit will last a year, so it's going to help them get past the crisis phase, let municipalities restore infrastructure, and get people clean drinking water again. We can't do any of that without the volunteers here packing that aid, or our partners sending that aid and getting it down there, or our great teams that are on the ground receiving the aid, clearing the aid, and going from village to village, parish to parish, getting it to families in need, teaching them how to set it up. And it really makes such a tremendous impact to know that the aid that we've put together has helped the family by getting them that clean drinking water.
Thank you, people.
Beyond that, remember, we understand that families just don't have money, right? They're running out of money, which means they can't buy the basics like food. So other volunteers have been making emergency food kits. They've been taking dried staple items, food items that we know Jamaican families love to eat, whether it's kidney beans or rice, green peas or chickpeas, and we've been putting them into either a box or a bucket. We really like using the bucket because it really protects the food when it gets down there. And the bucket could then be used by mom to go and collect the dirty water and pour it into the top of her family emergency kit's point of use water purification unit. So you see the dual purpose in actually using the bucket to send the emergency food kit down. So far, we've put over 5,000 of these emergency food kits down, and we're gonna keep going.
There was hundreds of families here and students just trying to get some food. And this will go a long way. You know, even a week or two of food can give them the ability to fix up things around their house, or, you know, the kids get a healthy meal. So, you know, every bit makes a difference.
We've done a couple of other things. Those AR units that was going into the feeding centers, we put another one down into the sugarcane factory in Frome. Like, this is important because they had water, they had a water source, but the whole village didn't have access to clean drinking water. So by setting up, you know, a point of source unit and then running the pipes out to just outside the fence, and now there's clean drinking water because of the unit we installed, and we taught the local military that was deployed how to run it, the local workers in the factory how to run it. Well, now the community's got it. That was another unit we deployed. And then when that community kitchen shut down in Negril, we actually moved that unit to another town, Bluwari, and set it up there. And to see the impact that getting longer term access to clean drinking water for communities is amazing. Now look, in Jamaica, it's not over. They're rebuilding, they're trying to get those hotels open, they're trying to get people back to work, but they still have all the needs. And what we're doing at GlobalMedic, we're making sure that we're getting the right aid to the right people at the right time.
We want to thank wholeheartedly GlobalMedic for this tremendous support.
I am truly, truly grateful for the help.
Thank you, GlobalMedic, for thinking of us and thinking of our family and giving us this package. It meant a lot to us, and I hope I can use this filter and get more when it's over. And I appreciate it. Thank you.
GlobalMedic, thank you guys very much.